St. Martin, our people, we have to work together, you know. So moving forward,
you just need to get back to basics, and from there you could see everything.
Do not settle for less in life. And entrepreneurship is the best way to go. Working for yourself, 2 thumbs up. A blessed and wonderful good afternoon to all my St. Martin family and our SOS family all around the world. Welcome to your program, Strictly Business. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Barry. A special shout out to the senior in Curacao, and a special shout out to Junior right here in St. Martin. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here with us today. Maybe we might have the senior calling in and give us a little 2 cents on what's going on. But of course, we're ready to have an awesome program here this afternoon on Strictly Business on SOS Radio 95.9 FM every Sunday from 12 to 12:30. Of course, before we get started, we always like to quickly thank and shout out to all the sponsors that make this program possible. So today, if you want to do some great grocery shopping, you can stop by the Aki Supermarket located right there on the Illidge Road and get your grocery shopping done there by the Aki Supermarket. If you are in Arch Road, Hispaniola Road, number 1, we got the Supreme Supermarket. If you're in that area as well, you can go and get your groceries done by the Supreme Supermarket. And if you want that fresh haircut for the week, for the guys, for the ladies, it's a salon, it's a barbershop. Also for the children, you got to go and stop by the Los Mejores Barbershop and get that fresh look. And if you're thinking movies, the number 1 place to stop by is the Video Block located right there in French Quarter. Where else can you get 30 movies for only $30? Loaded to your USB drive or your hard drive, even your smartphone. Video Block is open from Monday to Saturday, 5:30 p.m. until 10 p.m. Think movies, think the Video Block. Also like to thank J&J Properties for all your apartments or commercial spaces. Give them a call today at 588-1216. That is J&J Properties, 588-1216. We also have some delicious spots for you if you want some food. We got Jerky's Tiki Hut located right there on the Illidge Road, some great tasting barbecue chicken and ribs. We also got Jerky's Tiki Hut located by the Plaza Casino as well. And not forgetting, right there on the Pondfield, you got the original Fat Boy Jimmy with some delicious food. So anytime you're hungry, you can just stop by. We also like to thank Sack Chill Spot right there on the next to Aki Supermarket. You can give them a call at 550-9108 or 526-2251. That is Sack Chill Spot, also known as Stashaz. Last but not least, we like to thank Clean Car Rental. If you're looking for a car for the week, a very affordable rates, give them a call at 588-1216. That is Clean Car Rental, 588-1216. That's it for all our sponsors. Thank you so much. Special thanks to all the people that always see me and say, you know, they're listening, they're tuning, are you on this Sunday again? They're loving the program. Well, of course, we appreciate that very much. And today is no difference. We got another special program here for you today with a special guest in the studio, in the station, who's no stranger to St. Martin people, one of the former ministers who actually was standing up for us here. You know, she deserved a round of applause. I hope the policies that she wanted to implement, I hope they try to follow through with it, because St. Martin need more people like her in position to make things better. She's none other than one of the former ministers of VSA, Mrs. Pamela Gordon-Carty. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here in the station.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
It's our pleasure. You have that beautiful smile. It's my first time meeting you, and just want to say publicly thank you for what you was trying to do for St. Martin, for us as a community, for us as a people.
I think it was something that I noticed whilst I was outside, as a business person. You does encounter a lot of things. You can see through things. You know where are the weaknesses within the economy. So you know that when you get the opportunity and present itself, which was the case of them appointing me as a minister, I decided to use that opportunity and do something that makes sense, that can do a change, make a difference in the economy, in people's lives as well. So based on that, of course, we can't just come in and make change. You have to delve into the different laws and things and that, and see where can we strengthen it in order for it to have the desired effect. So it took a little bit of time. Of course, our time was short, but within that time frame, you get a lot of stumbling blocks along the way as well.
We call it the red tape.
Yes, because you will encounter people that have their own agenda, and they will put different stumbling blocks in your way. But at the end of the day, we still managed to pass it, and as everybody knows, we was called into Parliament to give an explanation on it. But at this point, I feel that it was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
I'm still convinced that that helped a lot also in a situation that is what is happening right about now. Especially after COVID, after this pandemic, the development that you see that has been happening and going on, you can notice that this policy will also still give the people them a better chance, because it was just a free-for-all.
Right.
It was just a free-for-all. We all know what are the different tricks that are being used in the different sectors and things like that. So why not amend the law in a way that it can suit and fit the people that are more in need of it.
And kudos for you for bringing that forward and saying blatantly it was a free-for-all. That's what's happening. But you mentioned the policy was passed. Is it being continued right now?
I understood that it's being actually executed, but they are getting resistance, of course. But it is being executed and being implemented in the different sectors. But at the end of the day, there are other policies that had to be passed as well.
Okay.
And we didn't get a chance to pass all of them because, again, we was in for a short period of time.
Yeah.
But I left it in order for the other minister of VSA that is taken over for them to they just have to pass it basically, because we have made all the amendments and changes that will improve and tighten up on top of the opportunities of locals. Because what you notice is that basically people say, yes, we get investors. Everybody is focusing on the investors. We have to focus on the investors, yes, but at the end of the day, when giving out these licenses to the investors, we have to also put requirements.
Absolutely.
Requirements in the sense of, and especially if you're noticing that the social development is going backwards, and you're noticing that our locals are not getting that fair opportunity or chance to, one, get a loan, to buy a house, which is part of the social development that is deteriorating. And if they're not getting the chance to go higher up in their working field. So you have to create those opportunities, and then based on that you check on the laws that are not giving them that chance. So those are the different laws that we were working on and policies that we wanted to amend and things like that. So we pushed through that one because we saw that the opportunity presented itself, that when COVID, situations like this, you have that, if you have a history, right, proven that even though there are certain laws, people get away with things, then what is your next step to do? You're going to try to tighten up on top of those laws and see, yes, what is it that the same lawyers that are basically advising the others are the ones who are making the law, so they know that there is a loophole right there that they can use. So you try to close down and bridge that loophole in order to make it a little bit more difficult for it to be avoided from being a free-for-all for everyone. So based on that, we was working on other policies that regretfully we didn't get to pass, and we are hoping that the Minister of VSA, whoever it is, that they will, just continue and just pass the laws that will give the locals that fair chance to enhance the chances in life in getting a better way of spending their money.
You could clearly say today and testify to the people of St. Martin, because you were in there, that there is a lot of red tape, there is a lot of loopholes in our system that we currently have.
There is a lot of loopholes, not only in the Ministry of VSA. If you look overall, the country of St. Martin, if you look at it, basically you can see that the laws are outdated.
Wow.
And basically the parliamentarians are there to pass law. They are there to legislate. They are the highest legislative body. So you will expect them to be more active in wanting to amend laws. Yes, 10-10-10 was celebrated yesterday at the end of the day. But we are 10 years down the line and laws has not been changed. But we are seeing what the actual, the previous laws, where it is bringing the country to. So why not amend the laws? And every year, or every 2 years, 3 years, you control and check and say, okay, this law has been amended, it's giving us this result, but no laws are being amended. and things are not being structured in a way that we say we can advance the country in a certain direction.
Correct. Beautiful that you mentioned 10-10-10, because that was my next question. For me, in my opinion, I feel, you know how the old people say, we get a 6 for a 9. You know, that's how I feel. They tell us that we get a 9, but we get a 6. Have you seen any progress? I know there's a lot of speeches happened yesterday. There are going to be things that they're going to talk about tomorrow. But in this 10 years, have you seen any progress? What tangible progress can you say? The country, and again, that's another thing that bothers me. We keep calling ourselves Country St. Martin. When I walk around, people don't say, boy Brian, man, Mr. Barry. I don't hear Curacao saying Country Curacao. Why are we so hinged on saying country?
If I have to answer your question in 2 pieces, I will say, the first question was if I have noticed any progress.
Right.
From 10-10-10 to 10-20, when I have to use my measuring stick to see, okay, in order for me to answer that question, I will say, okay, I will look at, compare poverty back then and poverty now. I will compare what are the cost of living back then, the cost of living now.
Correct.
I will compare opportunities amongst locals to go higher up in their scale and compare it to now. I will compare spending power back then, spending power now. If I look at those measuring sticks and determine within those 2 years, and I take the interval from every 5 years and see if any laws, because that's what I have done, see if laws has been passed after 5 years, and see again, I see the 5 years, no laws has been amended. So 10 years down the line now, you can't expect different because nothing has changed. Basically, the country has gone backwards, I would say. I would say from an economical point of view and as an accountant, I can say that the country has gone backwards in many, many phases. Not only on the social aspect of course is tied on with the labor aspect. If you're not creating the opportunity for more locals, which are the ones that are living on the island, living on the country, if you do not create that spending power for it to circulate within the country itself, you are basically dying out the economy. Second, you have, if you have like too much of outflow of money and you're not, there is no checks and balances to see where the leakage is, and for you to amend certain things, it's going to continue happening and you're going to dry out the pot at the end of the day. We are noticing that everybody talking about, yes, we have to collect outstandings that are out there. Tax office has to do the job. The government has to do the job. SSV has to do the job, yes. But they also needs to have qualified people in place in order to execute the job.
Well said.
Because I'm, as an accountant, you're basically every year you're writing the same objection letters for them to amend something that a customer already paid. And I have been experiencing that myself. You pay something, and then afterwards when you ask for a printout, like maybe 2-3 months down the line, you're getting the same things. And then they're selling bailiffs to your door, or bailiff to the customer's door, and then collecting monies, stating things that, and the thing is that always they go to the locals.
Right.
Hold
that thought, because I always tell Junior, Rolex Junior, it seems as if we were in a roundabout country. That's all we do, because you just said it comes back to the same thing. So we think we're going somewhere, we go around, we come back to the same spot. You know, so I always say St. Martin's system right now is like a roundabout. We're not going anywhere. There's no clear vision, there's no clear path to go down the road, down the tunnel. We're just round and around, everybody taking turns to come in, and we keep going round and round. And basically we can see the roundabout is getting full because the cup is running over.
Yep.
And we're getting stuck.
What you can say also is that if we do not have a plan in place, how can you target where you need to target? If you set a plan for the country, I said this in many times in my interviews, you have to take Country St. Martin as a business plan. Okay, we want the country to reach, for instance, independence. If we want our people to start thinking independence, we have to start putting our things in place. In order for us to be self-reliant, we have to do those things in place. And it starts from inside of your house first. You have to start not only changing the laws, but also start changing the system, the way it works. You have to be up to date, implementing the laws. People have to stop being too friend when it comes around dealing with the country's interests. It has to be strictly business. We are dealing business. It's not because I know you, or because you're my friend, or because you're giving me a piece from the pie. No, it has to be strict.
Absolutely.
We have to apply the laws for everybody. And also, you're noticing that, for instance, systems that are outdated, people know that the system are updated, but it is to their convenience to leave it
Correct.
like that.
Exactly. They benefit.
You understand? Because at the end of the day, you're creating an image that countries in Martin have this huge outstanding, whilst we know that our have a lot of those things that have to be updated.
Absolutely.
You have a
Captain,
lot of that.
can you check see if senior's trying to call? I seen a missed call I keep getting. I don't know if it's him, but my phone is on silent though. I can't answer.
And if you're working
Continue.
with a budget post that is showing a certain amount has to be brought in for the country, and it's a fictitious amount, you're working with wrong figures in order for you to make decisions as well. So from a financial point of view, you need real figures. So important is whether it's showing that, for instance, the country is outstanding on taxes. Let's just make it a figure, 1 billion. And for instance, half of it is fictitious, and you're basing your calculation on 1 billion, it's not going to work out. You're basically planning to fail. So you need to update your system properly. You need to tax those that has to be taxed and collect those that has to be collected. It has certain forms within the economy as well, within the sectors that basically do not get taxed. And people know those type of structures as well.
Okay.
Like for instance, you have the maatschappelijk vereniging, which are all doctors and things like that, which are some of the highest paying functions. Do they pay tax?
Wow.
They do not. And then you have the others. It have so many things that people use, and sometimes it's those in the high level that basically can contribute
Who can
more
afford? Yes, they can afford. Yes.
into the country's coffers, are the ones who are getting away with the tax breaks.
Yeah.
For instance, the same thing when you're bringing in investors and things like that. Set a requirement. It has been proven, we have data there showing that after a certain amount of years they change the name. But you know exactly that they are the same persons. Why? Not when they have to renew the business license or start from now. Make it a law. Every investor that come in, yes, you can get the business license, but I want 60% of your workers to be locals.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
I want that you put a set of rules. If you're going to change your name after 3-4 years, you have to pay 1% of your generated profit.
And is that so hard to implement?
It is not.
My goodness.
It is not. And these are the things that I just be saying. There are things out there that we can do, and we are not doing it. And why is the reason that we're not doing it? Are we trying to please a couple, and then we're trying to put a burden on others? We don't want the society to come up at a certain level that we can say our country as a whole is to be considered not a derde wereldland, how we call it, a third world country, or are we wanting for us to be also listed as a country that can be considered a rich country? And rich doesn't mean that all your society is rich now. It means that the level of poverty is lower than normal.
Than the average.
Than the average.
Yes.
Okay? So it has so many things. You have, for instance, those that owns the boats, the yachting slips and things like that. They are owners from those slips and things. Nobody don't have control of the monies that coming in, that they're getting in from the yacht, that are docking there and things like that. Yes, there is a section that do contribute to taxes directly and the monies comes in, but those others that have the slip right there by the own properties and things like that, they are also contributing to dirtying up the marina and things. Are we taxing them? What type of control mechanism we have in place that the landlords are contributing to the taxes? These are the upper level. We have to start looking at the up, and nothing against people making money, because I'm a business person. You in business to make money, But at the end of the day, everybody have to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
I pay my taxes.
Correct.
Whether they have stated that it have an outstanding in tax office, I have my papers
Yes.
proving that I pay taxes. They have to make sure to update their system. But at the end of the day, it has those that do not
Contribute at all.
at all. We also know it. The information is there. We know that certain sectors, you have a particular type of religion or a typical type of ethnicity group that does run that specific type of sector. Why it is we do not set certain things in place in order to guarantee that those people indeed contribute to the taxes that they have to contribute. Some of them just hold to type of administration. Everybody have this type of information. Why not come with a cash register that is connected directly to the tax office, making sure that the country gets that money that has to come in?
Wow.
It has so many things that can be done.
I see you're very passionate about this topic, and I don't understand why someone like you, they wouldn't want you to come back, you know, to hold you and say, even if you don't come back as a policy advisor, take your ideas, bring them forth. You know, I mean, we have to go on to another topic, but I want to say before we move on, 10, 10, 10. I think the people of St. Martin, the only benefit that you keep hearing out there that they see happen for the country is that the parliamentarians and the ministers, they get a big salary. That's the only benefit that people see, that, hey, they are happy, but the people aren't happy.
And
the politicians benefited from 10, 10, 10 because now they upscale. The rest of the country is still suffering, nothing changed.
And that's a sad part of it, because at the end of the day, you are put there to represent the interests of the country. You are there to execute anything that is to the best interest of the country. So that's what you're getting paid for.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, everybody have to know for themselves how they feel about themselves when they go home. Me, for instance, I'm the type of person, when I look at myself in the mirror, I want to feel confident that, you know, I did the right thing. I didn't hurt anyone. Sometimes you have to step on certain toes, but if you do it for the right reasons, it's okay. And if you do it for the majority that is suffering, it is okay. Because again, I have been, when the law passed, it had a letter in the newspaper, in the Daily Herald, that came from SHT8, and it was a letter that I didn't even respond in. Because at the end of the day, I consider that you pass your line, you cross your line, in stating something like that, and I am not going to direct myself to a person that has disrespect a highest executional body. That means to say, it speaks volumes about the person that is running the entire organization.
Yes, their intentions.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if you come to voice it like that, that means to say that you think that you have backup from people that are in power, that basically are going to keep it quiet.
Yes.
Because it has been happening for a couple of years. So if a person come and bring friction into something that has been going so good, that certain selective groups or certain groups are benefiting from it, then of course you're going to get people that are not too happy. They will try to portray and paint you black and things like that. Listen, it has, when I was busy in intern, afterwards you start hearing things on the road of what it is that was going to change, what it is you do. You hear a lot of things. The ministry, basically, I had some of them that was with me, some that was working against me. So you will find that everywhere in life, when you rock the boat a little bit, you will have those that are for you, those that are against you.
And quickly though, I want to address this as well. I hear some ministries that say, I hate hearing them when they say they're short staffed. Why would a ministry be short staffed and there are people looking for jobs?
I do not believe in short staff. I had brought this up in the Council of Ministers once, exactly when this point of discussion was brought forward with the policy that I implemented. And I stated, okay, but we have have a good bit, I don't even want to mention the amount, a good bit of people on the payroll that are not working and that are basically collecting money for years. Why are we still, what it is we are doing?
Yes.
I mean, how much years can we have someone on a payroll, all of those things is putting burden on the country.
Absolutely.
Because you are paying for something that is not generating. The person is supposed to be generating
They're not
some
being productive.
sort. Exactly.
They're
They
not
have to be
contributing
part
anything.
of the entire thing. If
Yeah.
they're not giving out, you can't be getting it. So we have to start there.
And that is happening.
It is happening. Never mind about friends, who is this, who I have to be good with this. No. People have to understand business is business and it's nothing personal. We just have to do the right thing. Just use the law across the border for everyone. It's not about a little bit for you. Yeah, I'm going to see this law red for you. For you, I'm going to see it blue. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. Otherwise, the country is not going to
Not going to move forward.
It's not going to reach in the position where it's supposed to reach. And the thing is, St. Martin does make money. It does.
Wow.
But where is the money going?
Go
It's
on.
going all the time in the same groups.
Okay.
It's going in the same groups. And then at the end of the day, the groups that are stating that they are looking for the benefit of the country, at the end of the day, they are putting someone maybe local in the front, and then they are in the back,
Pulling the string.
and then afterwards you have that they self are bringing in people from outdoors, from outside,
Wow,
foreigners,
that's amazing.
and these things have to stop, because how else would you explain that it have so much locals
This is
that is
amazing.
unemployed, and it have jobs out there that are being executed by
But
others.
do you think the contribution to political campaigns pays some type of way, has a factor in this when they get into power, or when companies get to do what they want because of our political
It can definitely play
campaigns?
a role, and not taking St. Martin alone as the main thing, as the point. From a financial point of view, you can look at investors sometimes like to invest in order for them to have a say.
Right.
So it also depends on the amount of money that they invest and what is the reason why they invest. Investor can invest because indeed they feel that the country definitely is going to be a hub and generating money, profit for the whatever ideas they have. And of course, they're going to want to bring their own conditions based on what they are investing, what is the intention and all of that, what is going to have, what is the advantage that is going to contribute for the economy of the country. So it's like a balancing thing that when you're on table, you have to negotiate this thing and feel, but that's why you need to have that business plan in place to know where it is you want to bring country St. Martin, for instance. And then you know what is the pain and the hurt of your country.
Correct.
So when you're sitting on table, those are the things that when you're negotiating, you have to bring forward.
Correct.
You have to negotiate, hello, I want you as an investor, yes,
For my people,
but
we have to
this
benefit.
and this and this is going to take place, and we already have data of this and this taking place if we're going to do that. But none of those things in between. So we are going to continue
Roundabout.
in the same
Same
direction.
cycle.
The same
It's
direction.
sad. This is very, very sad, Minister. I think you wanted to quickly touch also, we're in Breast Cancer Month. Before we close up, we run on time, so
Yeah.
the floor is yours. Go right ahead.
Breast Cancer Month. Well, basically, breast cancer amongst our black women, it has been proven that basically it has some rise. It's like a
It's on the rise.
Yes, it's on the rise, and then you have a period that is going back down. Why? Because you have the young group and you have the older group. The older group are being like more attentive on the different things, more about their body. They're being more aware about their body. They are more careful and they pay more attention. They read up on top of those things and things like that. You have like nowadays a lot of the young girls, they put in their phone on their breast.
That's what I was saying.
They put in their phone on
This
their
is
breast
ridiculous.
and things like that.
And they think it's okay.
Yes, and they have to be more careful into that, pay more attention, read up on top of things in order for them to be more up to date with information. You know, it's not because you are young, you mean to say you're invincible, things cannot happen. No, you have to start being preventative from now. And it's not only with the breast cancer thing, you know, what's your name? Barry. It's not only with that. It's in everything in life. Like, you have that, for instance, when you look back at the social deterioration, you look back at the labor force and the composition of it, which is foreigner is a higher percentage than the locals, you notice that basically the cycle continues when it comes to locals not getting the proper going up in the scale, the locals not getting a loan by the bank. We're going to look back and see what are the weaknesses. The weaknesses are basically that we do not teach our young people to save. Basic things that they need to know. They need to start saving. They need to have pride in their own. You know, it starts from young. And these are the things that we have to instill in our children, because we want them to be able to take over the country at the end of the day. Because now we notice that the country is basically not run by the locals. The country is run by those that are foreigners that are basically investing and pumping money with their own conditions at the end of the day and bringing in their own people. You understand? So you want to start from now in order for you to have that flip side. If they're going to continue having that happening, you're going to have that basically the country is going to be sold over completely, and then they are not going. The locals are not going to get a chance to be in positions of making decisions, and then you're going to have also the justice system that we have to look at too. You know, the justice system is something that it's a very tricky and sensitive topic. In the sense of you have judges, yes. You have lawyers, yes. What is the composition of local lawyers versus Dutch lawyers on St. Martin? Have you ever studied that? Yes, we are run by under a Dutch constitution and things like that. But what is frappant is basically that you have less locals versus Dutch lawyers.
But we export all our human resources. We educate our children here and then we send them Holland and then we leave them up there. We don't keep track to get them back. And
not only that, we do not give them the same value. We do not consider them to be as educated, as valuable like the others. There seems to be that slave mentality still that is there out there, that our own, or there is a problem with our color, and that's why we do not want them to be in that type of position. We need to stop that. Give our own the chance.
Yes, absolutely. We run on time. Your last words to the St. Martin people.
Well, what I want to say is basically we know that the COVID has brought a lot of, has enlightened a lot of weaknesses that has been going on in the economy itself. That doesn't mean that it was brought in with the pandemic, as many wants to think. It was there already. It has just been exposed more what has been going on. We need to stand up for our rights as a human being.
Correct.
And if there's something that is happening that is wrong, that is injustly, you need to walk the path in order for you to get justice, to get served. You do not need to worry about the hearsay, what people are going to say. At the end of the day, people will say and talk what they want. At the end of the day. Whether they know your side of the story or my side of the story, people will talk all out. So I would want to say to the country of St. Martin that we need to move towards independence and start with preparation. You understand? Start with preparation, and let's stop this friend thing. Friends is there for a moment. There's a moment for everything. When it comes around running the country, we need to just stay focused and let the greed not be our how you say?
Main focus.
Our main focus. Let it not be the one that is guiding us in making the decisions of being about self. No, it's about how much so you want to have. You want to have like a bunch of buildings and things like that, to say that you own a bunch of buildings. You can't go with them when you die. All of them staying here, the next generation. Give somebody else a chance. There is space for everybody. Stop the greed. Stop the greed.
Well said, well said. Thank you so much, Mrs. Pamela Gordon. Thank you, St. Martin, for your time, for listening. Thank you, SOS, for having us. Remember, St. Martin people, life is all about choices. So be careful who you choose and what you choose, because time waits on no one. Till next time, strictly business. Take care.